Hey friends, Beatlemaniacs all over the world. Here I am again, getting into one of my obsessions, Beatlemania. You know, February is the appropriate month to do this because they came February 1964 to star on the Ed Sullivan Show on Sunday night, February 9th. So that makes it what, almost 50 years already? Something like that. Close, not quite. 2014 will be the 50th anniversary of that. So we're 2 years off. 38 years ago. Or 48 years ago. Sorry, do the math. And in this box is this cool denim box is part of my collection of Beatles singles. That as early as 2003 I started collecting these things. Of course I had some without picture sleeves for years, but these got picture sleeves, so I'll be showing these. And let's get started. In fact, I got one on the wall there, I'll show you that. The Beatles, I saw her standing there and I want to hold your hand. The first American single that was almost snubbed by Capitol Records. They were actually forced to play it, or they were so bothered by their manager and George Martin, their producer, is that, okay, we'll play it. Of course, before that, some other radio stations had leaked this song onto their stations before they even released the record, so that kind of troubled them in a way. And how that happened, they don't know. But this is the very first song that ushered the Beatles into the US and onto the Ed Sullivan Show. Boy, that picture takes me back just looking at it. That's the first picture I've seen of them. And now, the box. I read the news today. Oh boy, oh sorry. Okay. Here's the record that goes to the sleeve that's on the wall. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Backed by... I saw her standing there. Very first record I come to grips with. On the Capitol swirly label. Many of the records had that until the Apple label came out, which was Hey Jude. That ended all that Capitol swirly stuff. These aren't in chronological order, so we are in 1967 now with I Am the Walrus and Hello, Goodbye. I remember this, I was at a department store with my mom, I saw that record and I just wanted it and she bought it for me. This isn't the one though, but this is one like it. And it takes me back, I tell you. The Beatles, Help! And I'm down, my fingers out of the way. From the film, their second film. And there's the swirly label record. Pretty nifty, eh? I have to edit this because I'm putting the record back. Okay, we go to 1967 again. All You Need Is Love, Baby You're a Rich Man. Now, this is all before, these were all out the summer of '67, the same summer Sgt. Pepper was released, but these were all out, these two songs were out on a single after that album was released, and these weren't even on the album, of course. These two wound up on Magical Mystery Tour later. Strange happening. They were so busy churning out music that they just couldn't put everything on an album at once. Oh, there's another, okay, that's another, I Want to Hold Your Hand there. I think I had another, I thought I had another picture sleeve for it. The Beatles Act Naturally and Yesterday. Opportunity knocks for Paulie. He was the only Beatle on that record. The rest just sat back while he and his guitar played and a few people played cellos and stuff. Yes, that was the first Paul McCartney record, but they credited it to the Beatles because it would make Paul stick out too much, they said. Okay, I got This is a Mexican, yeah, this is a Mexican EP that I picked up a long time ago. It's got 4 songs on it. And it's got the picture from Rubber Soul. And actually there are songs from the Rubber Soul album except Day Tripper. Day Tripper's not on there. This is kind of like a Capitol deal. Well, it is a Capitol record, but it's a Mexican pressing, which has Michelle, Girl, Day Tripper, and We Can Work It Out all on one little 45. Okay, I got this Tolly record, which was, I believe, a company affiliate of VJ, which put out the Introducing the Beatles album. Can you see that on there? Is that upside down? Yes, it is. No? Wait a minute. Where am I? Ah, here we go. Tolly Records. And this is There's a Place on side B and Twist and Shout on side A. All these little record companies trying to promote the Beatles before Capitol got interested in them, and then Capitol come in like a barracuda and grab them from them. Here's another Beatles EP, which has the cover from the Beatles for Sale album. And this has Long Tall Sally, I Call Your Name, Slow Down, and Matchbox. So it's another mixture of songs from different albums. Again, Capitol at work. And the Beatles Help. Oh yeah, this is the Mexican EP of Help, which has Help the Night Before, You're Gonna Lose That Girl, and Another Girl. So those are all on the same album for once. Strange, eh? Capitol Records, pressed in El Mexico. There's another Mexican EP with the Beatles for Sale picture on it. One's in color, one's in black and white. I'm about to lose the record, dude. Okay, and this has I Should Have Known Better, If I Fell, Tell Me Why, and I Love Her. All songs from the Hard Day's Night soundtrack project. The Beatles' Yellow Submarine, Eleanor Rigby, from the Revolver album. I believe the singles came out before the albums back then. Yeah, a lot of times they did. So, unless it just seemed that way. But I remember my sister would buy these things first, and then the album would come out, and they'd go out and buy the album with the same songs on them. You know, great marketing, you know, that's the way it was then. Then all those songs that they left off there to put out extra greatest hits albums, like I discussed in the other video. Oh, shit. Okay, we got the Beatles' Rain and Paperback Writer. I never heard Rain until like the 70s, you know. I bought an old bootleg tape once, and that was on there. I thought that was really kind of heavy music for them. I mean, they had kind of a droning guitar style on it I never heard before. I thought, wow, you know, it's kind of like, it was really different. And then you had that backward singing at the end, you know, which I didn't realize at the time, but then I found out later is John Lennon singing, Let the Rain Come, and then hide their head, and it goes backwards. It sounds like, you probably heard it. That was the first record to have backward recording on it. Drop my remote. A Hard Day's Night, and I Should Have Known Better from Capitol. Ah, yes. Another Mexican EP. It Won't Be Long Till There Was You, and You Really Got a Hold on Me. There's only 3 of them? It's not open either, so I never even opened it. There's only 3 songs on that one, and only there's 4 on an EP. The Beatles' Nowhere Man and What Goes On. I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, 8 days a week. Capitol Swirly Lid. Slow Down and Matchbox. That was on the EP, one of those Mexican EPs. And let's see here. Getting some odds and ends in here now. The Beatles, Let It Be. Backed by, you know my name, look at my number. One of the wackiest tunes they ever did, because it's like the only, that's all they say in it. And but the music changes throughout the song. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. If you ever like get past masters or something, it's on there. It's hilarious. And it has Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones playing saxophone. That's what they say. And it was recorded around the time of Sgt. Pepper, that You Know My Name, Look at My Number song. So that's kind of an interesting little ditty that winds up on their last single, or next to the last single. But it was recorded during their heyday, so I think I'm getting... This is only box number 1, folks. I ain't sure if I got time on this video to show you the other one. So here's the last one for this video. The Long and Winding Road, the very last single by the Beatles and the band. It was put out after they broke up, and Paul McCartney hated this version because Phil Spector got a hold of it. Of course, John Lennon handed over the tapes to him because they were really fighting during making of the Let It Be, Get Back album. And they just gave up on this shelf, the whole project. Then months later, John Lennon handed the tapes over to American record producer Phil Spector. Actually, the album had 3 different guys working on it. George Martin to begin with, and there was another guy named Glenn Johns. I can't remember his contribution to it, but this Phil Spector put all the lavish orchestrations, you know, all the fancy string instruments in the background of The Long and Winding Road, and Paul McCartney hated it. He had no say in the matter. The deal was already done. It was out and about, and people were buying it anyways. Anyway, that's my Beatles singles collection for now. I got more in a box next to me, and I'll get that to you in my next video. Meantime, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed this. Found it informative, and I enjoy doing this too. And thanks to all those who appreciate my videos. And talk to you later. See you later. And you didn't have to adjust your monitors till I'm growing a beard. See you later. Have a good one. Beatlemania.